This is the first public forum that we've held as a function of the Disaster Planning Committee. And the bottom line is get information out to the public so they know what to expect in a fire and how to plan in advance of it. And we're talking about fires, earthquakes, natural and man-made disasters.
Sure.
So we're giving them the tools to plan and giving them at least a fighting chance of being successful.
Sure, sure. And who are the contributors today?
Well, we have a pretty good team. We have Scott Short. He's a member of the Sheriff's Department.
Sure.
We have Linda Harrell, who is with Equine Animal Control. We have Shaw Wynn, who is with Small Animals Animal
The
Control.
public to do at large, all the people that aren't here.
First of all, go to our website.
Okay, what is it?
www.addisasterplanning.com.
Okay.
You go there, it gives you links to public events being held to give them more information.
Yeah.
It's got a handbook online that talks about the Agua Dulce and it's just as good for Acton area.
Sure.
And links, what to do when schools are out or when they're in session during disaster.
Sure.
And a ton of other information. So if you go to our websites, it gives you links to both county, government, and local agencies that can give you more information on this.
Sure.
And one other thing the public can do, go out and become CERT trained. So you can be an asset to community in a disaster.
I live in Santa Clarita, so for the most part, I'm sheltered in the center of town. But out here, you might not have a neighbor notice the fire until it actually crested the hill and it's now staring down at your house. So if you're prepared beforehand, it's much better for you and your animals. The last fire, my wife and I were putting together everything to leave, and we noticed something kind of strange. We had a cage for the dog, a cage for the birds, all their food that lasts about a week, bowls for water and everything, and none of our stuff. So I guess we're kind of the minority. We're ready to get the animals out of there, but we're not ready to get out there ourselves. So, like I said,
The plan, basically.
Test them on a time clock. How quickly can you gather the horse up, put it in the trailer with its disaster preparedness kit, and go? How quickly can you do that? That's tough.
Yeah.
And I have 5. You think about hauling out 5 of them.
That'd
Can
be
they all be caught?
That'd be a challenge. And you mentioned that this uniform you're wearing from LA County, could you turn around and show me the back? Oh, that's good. Okay. So when disaster strikes, people should look for that.
In regards to their horses being trailered out?
Yeah.
Yes. If they don't see a badge and a uniform, they don't know who that person is unless it's a personal friend. They don't know.
Sure.
That's a well-intentioned volunteer, but more horses are lost during fires. I'm constantly being called after a fire to find horses that somebody has evacuated for the owner without leaving documentation.
Sure.
So they don't know where the horse went.
They don't know where it
They
went.
don't know who to call. They can't even thank the person. We had people that have received horses in and called and I don't know what to do with these horses now. People never came back.
Sure.
So it's frightening. So yeah, you need to know, is it a sheriff? Could be a sheriff's uniform, could be a fire uniform, could be animal control, but look for the authorities.
Sure.
Know where your horse. Some people's first thought would be to turn the horse loose and let him fend for himself.
Right.
We have domesticated them. They're no longer a wild animal that would have the instincts to survive. They wouldn't have it. They're going to know what's familiar. That's their own little home with their own buddies.
Yeah.
They need their buddies. They're herd animals. That's how they survive, is that they're a very gregarious, friendly animal. They like to be with other horses. So you turn them loose. They're going to pack up, hopefully, or herd up, hopefully. But they're going to cause a tremendous problem for all responders. All responders. I mean, and it's not good for the horse.
Sure.
I also would like you to be prepared enough to kind of radiate out from here, because there's a lot of people that aren't here, and there's a lot of people that should be here. But just kind of try and work with as much preparation as you're comfortable with. Another couple of sides, just from personal experience, if you decide to put water in 55-gallon drums like that, it's an excellent idea, but make sure the drums, especially if they're used, have had food-grade material in them, because I had a disaster at one point where they were using trichloroethylene or something like that in the barrel before, and the horses all got really sick. So that was a concern. The other concern was just as far as more to a point, because of what I see as far as earthquakes, really reevaluate your shelters, both for shade as well as for sturdiness, because that big crack on the other side of the hill is going to go here sometime soon, and some of the house-acquired shelters around here are a disaster waiting to happen. So, I mean, I can take them down just with a good, horse shuffle, so let alone what an earthquake will do. So just kind of keep that into mind, and really kind of work on your evacuation. I mean, I see personal disasters every time I'm on call. When you have somebody at 11 o'clock at night who has the horse of their dreams needs to go to the hospital for surgery, and they have no idea trailering, they have no idea if the horse will get in the trailer, they have no idea who has a trailer around them, and so that can be a real concern at all the wrong times. So really work on that part of your network, and just be comfortable. The training, as far as it's been emphasized again and again and again, do the training now so it's available later. When you look at the eyes, you want to kind of see a clear gloss to their eyes. You want to see their eyes, in normal position, not shrunk back. You want to see that they're obviously interested in what you're doing, but not overly fearful or afraid. Wow, I got one here somewhere. I don't know what to do with it.
Who's the good?
Yeah, I don't know what to do with it. You also, the next thing you want to do is kind of evaluate their lips. They've got some nice moisture in here. They're full of spit, so to speak, and they've got fairly, nice pink gums, and not, real dark or real light. So that's all important. Lovely, love the pigment too. One real good thing is trying to do some basic assessment for dehydration. A lot of people will pinch down here, and it's a lot bigger spot, but you don't get as good an indicator. Right here on the cheek is much better.
And how long to snap back?
You basically want to not have it tent more than significant. I mean, Skeet might be just slightly dehydrated because of his trailer ride, and he got to wear a blanket and all that. So there's a little stress right there. So it might be, and that's something, Linda's going to watch for with him, but she's going to look at those other things as well. You want to try and assess their heart rate when you have them in a quiet environment. The two ways to look at heart rate is buy a stethoscope. You can buy a cheap one. The easiest place to listen is right behind the elbow, right here. And you can just basically count for 15 seconds and then multiply by 4. The other thing you can do, there's a little notch on their jaw, and a big old vein goes right in. You can kind of palpate it right there. So you just kind of feel that, and basically an artery, and you just feel the pulse there. Once again, count to 10 or 15 and do that. The other thing you want to look at is, how they're moving around. Unfortunately, laminitis is a common sequela from stress, and they'll start to get kind of, they can count every rock on the ground and things like that, so just how he looks around. The other thing you can practice on doing is they have a big vein that goes on either side of their fetlock here and inside, and you can just basically, with your fingers, not your thumb, because they'll always have a pulse because you'll feel your thumb pulse. You just want to feel that and just feel if you can feel a significant pulse. And finally, you just kind of want to look at, as far as normal appearance, is there any swellings that are unusual? Like say Skeeter had a big old swollen sheath, that would be a sign of some stress and concern. You want to see, any ventral edema, like say he got bit by a big old spider on the neck, you'd want to see that big volcano and know what to do about that. And then, just general position, in addition to walking, when they're standing here, in addition to their face, are they camped out? Are they tucked under? Are they not bearing weight on a leg? Is their frame, we call it frame bent. Sometimes when they're uncomfortable in their back end, they'll kind of sway to one side. So kind of look at all those things as far as assessing for stress, assessing for physical condition. I think the more people can develop a routine about any situation, the better prepared they are, the less stressed they are. So I think any preparation they can do, both as far as a plan as well as practice, will only help them deal with that situation better.
Thanks very much.